Hello, students. How are you? I hope you all are well. In fact, today we are going to start second chapter of your political science book. The title of the chapter is The End of Bipolarity. दो ध्रुवीयता का अंत. In your earlier chapter, you have studied about that the world had been divided into two parts or two blocks. One was capitalist and second was communist. The capitalist, they were with the USA, and the communist are those countries who stood by USSR. So let's start this chapter. First of all, I would like to say that all of you have read about the Berlin Wall, which had been built in the height of the Cold War and was its greatest symbol. But it was toppled by the people in 1989. And this dramatic event was followed by an equally dramatic and historical chain of events that led to the collapse of the Second World War. And it was the end of Cold War. The Germany divided after the Second World War was unified after the fall of Berlin Wall. One after another, the 8 East European countries that were part of the Soviet bloc replaced their communist governments, and in this way they adopted a new administration system. So, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, or the USSR, came into being after the Socialist Revolution in Russia in 1917. The revolution was inspired by the ideals of socialism, and because they had adopted socialism, so obviously they were opposing the capitalism. This was perhaps the biggest attempt in human history to abolish the institution of private property and consciously design a society based on principle of equality. If the capitalist economy supported the industrialist and they encouraged the personal profit or individual profit, but the Soviet Union stressed on the principles of equality. In doing so, the makers of the Soviet system gave primacy to the state, to the country, as well as the institution of the party. So, the political system that encouraged this system, they rejected overall the individual property, and Soviet political system centered around the Communist Party. So no other political party of opposition was allowed in the Soviet Union. After the Second World War, East European country that the Soviet army had liberated from the capitalist control, and they occupied these area, and in this way these countries came in the influence of the USSR. The political and the economic system of all these countries were modeled according to the USSR. So, in this way, these countries were called the Second World or the Socialist Bloc. And these countries signed a pact which we have studied in the first chapter, and it was named the Warsaw Pact. The Soviet Union became a big power after the Second World War. In fact, when the whole world was suffering of the economic recession, Soviet Union improved her economy, and in this way Soviet Union arose as a big economic power for the US. It had a complex communications network, vast energy resources like oil, iron and steel, and many other things also. So, the country industrialized herself because Soviet Union had a domestic consumer industry that produced everything from the pin to an aeroplane. Though quality of these products were not good in compared to the production by the capitalist country, still they succeeded in maintaining the minimum standard of living for all the citizens. And therefore the government subsidized basic needs including health, education, children, and other basic needs. There was no unemployment in the USSR because giving employment was the moral duty of the government. In this way, the Soviet system, however, became very bureaucratic and authoritarian, and it made life very difficult for the Soviet citizens. There was lack of democracy, absence of freedom of speech, which stifled people who often expressed their disagreement in jokes and cartoons. Means they were not allowed to express their views openly, but through jokes and cartoons they expressed their feelings. So these institutions of the Soviet Union needed reform. There was rule of only one party, that was Communist Party. So people were not satisfied because this party was not accountable to the citizens of Soviet Union. The party refused to recognize the urge of people in different 15 republics that formed the Soviet Union to manage their own affairs, including their cultural matters. Practically, USSR dominated not only our people but the regions of various parts of the USSR. Meanwhile, as US and USSR both were superpower and both had strong competition in the field of technology and infrastructure. And these countries wanted to occupy more and more areas in the world. In 1979, Soviet Union invaded on Afghanistan, where the political system had become weakened. And this was not welcomed by the Western countries. But Soviet Union also had to face some problems in their own country regarding consumable goods as well as shortage of food. Now, meanwhile, some political changes appeared in the USSR, and Mikhail Gorbachev, who was the General Secretary of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union, he wanted to bring some reforms in the system. In fact, he was in the favor of giving freedom to the people in the USSR. But he wanted to avail these facilities slowly. And these reforms were named Glasnost and Perestroika. You can call it reformation. So Gorbachev's decision to normalize relation with the West and democratize and reform in the Soviet Union had some other effects, and these effects were long lasting. The countries of Eastern Europe, which were part of Soviet Union or Soviet bloc, they wanted to get freedom from the control of USSR, and they wanted to establish their own government in their country. Therefore, they started opposing the Soviet administration, and some of them refused to accept the orders of the Soviet leaders. And this incident promoted or encouraged the crisis within the USSR. And later it became the cause of disintegration of the USSR. Though Gorbachev initiated the policies of economic and political reforms, as well as democratization within the country, but he could not get much support even in his own nation and of their own party. Meanwhile, a coup took place in 1991 that was emerged by the Communist Party hardliners, and this coup was being led by a communist leader called Boris Yeltsin. And soon he emerged as a national hero in the opposite camp. The Russian Republic, where Yeltsin won a popular election, began to shake off centralized control. Power began to shift from the Soviet center to the republics, especially in the more Europeanized part of the Soviet Union. I mean to say, he was becoming more popular in the European part of the Soviet Union. And these countries considered themselves sovereign states. The Central Asian republics did not ask for independence, but the Western countries they were demanding more liberty from the Soviet Union. In December 1991, under the leadership of Yeltsin, Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus, three major republics of the USSR declared that the Soviet Union was disbanded, and it was the beginning of disintegration of the USSR. The declaration on the disintegration of the USSR and the formation of the Commonwealth of Independent States, you can call CIS, Commonwealth of Independent States, came as a surprise to the whole world, because till then Soviet Union was considered as an iron wall where the internal things could not go outside. But this happened so quickly that nobody could understand the situation. Now, Russia was accepted as the successor state of the Soviet Union, and it inherited the Soviet seat in the United Nations Security Council. Russia accepted all the international treaties and commitments of the Soviet Union. It took over as the only nuclear state of the post-Soviet space, carried out some nuclear disarmament measures with the US. In this way, it was the end of the USSR. Now, what were the causes of the disintegration of the USSR? Here, these are the causes of the disintegration of the USSR. Here are the causes of the disintegration of the USSR. The first thing, expenses on atomic weapons and military equipments. To control over the different areas which were earlier under control of the USSR, USSR had to spend a huge amount to keep these countries under their control, as well as they spent a huge amount on the atomic weapons as well as the military equipment. As we have already discussed, that Soviet Union was the world power to compete with the USA. They had to increase the power, especially in atomic field, and they spent a big amount on the military also, so that they may be able to compete with the USA. Soviet system, this led to a huge economic burden that the system could not cope with, and in this way ordinary citizens became more knowledgeable about the economic advance of the West, and they saw the disparities between their system and the system of West. After years of being told that the Soviet system was better than Western capitalism, the reality of its backwardness came as a political and psychological shock. The next thing is Soviet Union had become stagnant in an administrative and political sense as well. The Communist Party that had ruled the Soviet Union for over 70 years. I earlier told you that they were not accountable to the people. They considered themselves that they are the owner of the country and they are free to run the country according to them. They could not correct the mistakes they had made. And the unwillingness to allow more openness in government and the centralization of authority in a vast land. This made the condition worst. And the bureaucrats gained more facilities than the ordinary citizen, and people identified it. They understood it, and therefore they started raising questions over these things. The next thing is over expectations and impatience of public. As we earlier discussed, that the people wanted more freedom as they had seen the condition of people in the Western countries. So when they compared, they found that they were backward while their rulers were enjoying all the privileges. When Gorbachev declared that he wanted to give facilities as well as freedom to the Soviet people, it increased the expectations of the people. And once they had tasted the freedom, now the expectation rose very high. And they started demanding more and more facilities and more liberty, as well as more opportunities. Though Mikhail Gorbachev was running the nation on right track, he did not want to give all the facilities altogether because it could prove dangerous for the nation. But people were not patient and they did not show patience to their rulers. And in this way, they found their expectations were shattering. That is the reason they started opposing their country. And in this way, these were the causes which became the cause of disintegration of the USSR. So, here you may get some questions like what were the causes of disintegration of the USSR? Another, what was the condition of USSR after the Second World War? And the third question can be, how far you think Gorbachev responsible for the disintegration of the USSR? So this is work for you, and I hope you will be able to get the points we have discussed today. And tomorrow we again meet with a new topic of this chapter. Let me tell you which topic we are going to discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow we will discuss about the Soviet Union after Gorbachev as well as consequences of the disintegration. Thank you.